not do. And I would laugh at those who believed that I could do those things and those who thought I could not do anything. Because to me, they were trying to plan my steps without knowing the path that I wanted to take myself. And both the people who would categorize me say, well, here are the things you could do. Well, my mother was a maid. So they started off there, and I'll never forget it. They took me to Miss Hilbert's house. Donna, you're supposed to pick up this, pick up this, pick up this. Well, I grabbed the towel and picked it up. Well, you cannot grab a towel. Well, I'm not picking up, it's dirty. I was fired. They told me I couldn't be a maid. I said, whoa. I said, well, that's how my mother teaches us to clean up behind ourselves. And I would think that this is what they should do. Nobody puts their underclothes on the floor. My mother always said, pick up after yourself. So I was doing what my mother told me. I wasn't ready to be a maid. Then, of course, they wanted me to be a secretary. They thought, well, girls make great secretaries. And I said, okay, I tried that. Couldn't type. Did not type. It never came out right. Thank God for computers now and spell check. I do it very well now. Al Gore invented all of this stuff when he created it. But they kept telling me the things that they thought a black woman should do. Little did they know that a black woman, like a white woman, like a Hispanic woman, like an Asian American woman, doesn't matter what flavor you put in front of your name, but you know what? We could soar. I didn't want them to limit me, because if they limit you, then they can define you. And if they both limit and define you, then you're no longer a threat. I put myself in a strategic position where I would be a threat. Yes. I wanted them to understand that I would not go down the road that they thought would lead to my success. But I went down a path that many women were afraid to take. But I wanted to go down that road. I wanted a life in politics. Not as a candidate, but I wanted to put someone in the White House. And when people looked at me, they thought I was absolutely from a different planet. And when you're from New Orleans, that's often saying you're from Mississippi. No, I wanted to put somebody in the White House. And I wrote it in my diary. And I didn't write it to the Archbishop or the Cardinal, my senior or the priest, or the Pope, because I didn't think they understood how to reach God, who, after all, in my judgment, was a woman. I still believe that. We can have our Bible study later. But I said, dear God, I want to put somebody in the White House. And then I went one step further. I said, by the age of 40. Well, thinking, God is a woman, she's like me, she got an appointment. Got to make our appointments on time. So by the age of 40, I had finally reached that point in my life. And all I needed was somebody to invite me to that stage. It was Al Gore. Actually, he called me when I was 38. 39, I got involved in his campaign. By the time I turned 40, I was managing his campaign. And a couple of weeks ago, they had to mention on CNN, there's only one candidate in recent history, meaning the 20th century. One candidate who's won both Iowa and New Hampshire. And that was Al Gore. Meaning I was the only campaign manager in the history of this country, in the history, that's ever won every contest when you had an opponent. Doesn't matter if you have 1 or 6. So I still have that distinction. And in my judgment, had Florida not been decided by the Supreme Court, I would have ran everything.